Hey, what's up everybody? It's Tuesday, September 3rd. I'm back after the long Labor Day weekend. I hope everybody had a nice Labor Day weekend. My thoughts go out to everybody in the Bahamas and the areas affected by Hurricane Dorian. Wow, what a massive storm. All right, I sent out the new issue of MMT Trader today. As you know, I usually send it out on Monday, but I had Monday off. What's up? How's everybody doing with this market? Down 300 one day, up 300 the next day, down 200 one day, up 150 the next day. This is what happens if you don't have a roadmap, if you don't have a compass, a market compass. What is a market compass? I've spoken about this in the past. You have to have an understanding of the underlying basic conditions, of the macroeconomic conditions, because that drives the economy and that drives the markets. If you don't have that, you're going to be running around like a chicken with your head cut off, willy-nilly chasing headlines, one day up, one day down, one day up, one day down. You don't make money that way. That's a loser's game. 100% that's a loser's game. And a lot of you do that because, frankly, you don't know what else to do. So you think that is intelligent. You think that is smart trading. You think that is opportunistic. Hey, Trump just tweeted something, I'm going to jump in there. That is a losing game. When you have the understanding, when you have the information and the understanding, it allows you to position yourself and sit tight until that trade works out in your favor. You know, a lot of times it can take time for the market to realize a certain set of economic fundamentals. You know, you could have a situation where, you know, XYZ commodity or stock could be a situation where the supply is rising, the demand is falling, and the price of that stock or commodity should go down, and what happens? It doesn't go down right away. Maybe it goes up even a little bit before it goes down, and you get frustrated, you stop yourself out prudently, right? And then what happens? It goes down, or vice versa. Some company, some stock could have fantastic fundamentals, profitable, paying a nice dividend, extremely attractive valuation from a PE standpoint or earnings yield, and what happens? It doesn't go up. Impatience causes you to lose. Maybe it goes down first. You stop yourself out in that prudent stop out. And then what happens? It goes up. You got to be able to stick with things when the conditions tell you that you should stick with them. And when you understand what's happening, when you can make sense out of the fundamentals, when you understand the policy impact on the markets, that gives you confidence, that gives you the strength, that gives you the staying power, all right? That gives you the patience, which is what is required if you're going to make a long-term game out of this. If you want to just, you know, gamble and roll the dice, hey, a headline today, a headline tomorrow, then at least understand what your true motivation is. Your motivation is gambling. Your motivation is wanting action as opposed to long-term profits and wealth building. There's a huge difference to that. Why do you think they have such things as Gamblers Anonymous? People ruin their lives with gambling. And trading can be approached, and I would dare to say, I would go on to say that for most people, the approach they use is gambling as opposed to investing and prudent speculation based on knowledge, based on information, based on the proper management of yourself. Anyway, new information has come to light. It is in my report, and this information has to do, I've been talking about this for the past couple of weeks, about the slowdown in the rate of growth of government spending. It was a problem. It was a factor. But new information has come to light. If you want that information, you have to go to my website, pitbulleconomics.com, and sign up for a 30-day free trial. We bought gold on the dip last week when it dipped down to 1530. I'm not a gold bug. I'm not one of these people who believe gold is money, but you know, it is a commodity. I trade it as such. It is also increasingly becoming a reserve asset of central banks, most notably Russia and China. They have been large buyers of gold as a means of diversifying away from the US dollar as part of their reserves. And this will be, I believe this will be ongoing. But most important, I think if you look at the fundamentals of gold, where there has been very little new investment into mine production over the past 8 or 9 years, demand is growing. You have a dearth, a lack of new mine supply. That's a bullish fundamental, but it's not something, you know, that you trade, that you day trade. This is something you position trade. I told you, I had a position on for 3 years. I had people here say, "Oh, you gold position." I'm like, "Oh, good luck on that one, hey." Well, guess what? It's all good. All right, and finally, bonds dipped down again into 10-year today in the yield. I stick by my explanation of all this, which I think everybody should know by now, that it's a confluence. It was the perfect storm of factors, speaking of storms, right? The debt ceiling, the Fed guiding reserves lower, the banks having to conform to regulatory mandates where they needed to hold a certain amount of Tier 1 capital. They needed to buy those treasuries. The debt ceiling's over. Well, you know, you don't ramp right back up the treasury just because the debt ceiling is over. They don't sell in one shot, you know, $1 trillion or more than $1 trillion. Piecemeal goes out, piecemeal, week by week, little by little, it goes out, but more and more supply is coming. And that will, I believe, sort of rebalance or put the situation back into where it should have been. Now, I'm not saying that yields are going way back up again. We have to look at the Fed and what they're going to do. But where they are right now, no, that's not going to remain. And the U.S. is not going into negative rates. So yeah, that's it, everybody. The new issue is out. Go to my website, pitbulleconomics.com. Sign up for a 30-day free trial. See everybody tomorrow. Bye-bye.